Hello everyone, I am the Halfwit Brit and this is Manor Lords, and yes, another winter's day in Mintingham. I say winter's day, winter's month, whatever. We always seem to start in winter or rain. It's never, I think I need to make sure we start in the middle of summer because that would be nice. I mean, as much as I love these sort of views, and I'm starting to appreciate potentially some of the changes in the game engine. Some things just look that much better. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Anyway, we had a couple of issues in the last one, and we're starting to find that restarting the game seems to fix issues. So not the last episode, the one prior to that, we had issues making ale. Well, I say making ale, it's more like the malt sort of issues. But now they went when we sort of reloaded the game. And when we did the last episode, however, then we had issues with making bread. And obviously, I finished that episode, I moved on to this one, and guess what? There's bread. We have 58 bread, 136 ale. All seems to be working as it should. And we can see we have 51 loaves of bread here. If I just speed it up a little bit. I mean, okay, some got took away there, but as you can see, bread is being made, and yes, it's all working as it should. So I need to have a kind of a scoot through the known issues, but if anyone else is having the same issues, then please let me know, just so I know I'm not going completely mad. As for grain, we're completely done, so we'll take the people out of there. So what if we got flour? So we got enough to make 523 loaves of bread. That's lovely. We also have 10 iron parts, which will be going across to our Boa's workshop. And they will be making us some crossbows, assuming we have the planks. And we do, just about, I guess. But where are we actually with weaponry? So we can see we have no spare crossbows, but let's have a quick look. And the reason I'm doing this now, we've had raiders. That means that we must be due the Baron at some point. So I'm interested to see where we're at. So as you can see, Spear Militia here have 30 Gambesons, isn't it? Gambesons? Saying that right, I always get it wrong. Where's the tailor shop? Let me double check. Gambesons, yes. So go back into there. We have 30 out of 36, so at least they have some armor. The retinue, we got enough money to buy some more, but we'll do that shortly. And almost all of my militia archer have armor as well, apart from the helmet. And some reason, oh right, I was gonna say, yeah, we don't quite have all the weapons, but we certainly have a little bit of armor there for the crossbow militia. So that's kind of working okay. Now, bearing in mind the iron has completely gone from this area, and we have what left? 51. So we'll leave the bloomery doing its job there, assuming it will. Who knows? Just having a quick look around. You can see the approval rating's at 64%. That should technically improve in due course. We could do it upgrading a few houses, but I'm not going to focus on that just yet. Just let me check the taxes. Yeah, they're at 10%. I could lower them a little bit, but I think we'll leave them where they're at. Now, I do want this to go up, so we'll just keep an eye on it. If it is too much, I think it may be more historic issues, i.e. lack of entertainment. That's not helping. But we'll keep an eye on it and see how it goes. If I need to lower it a little bit, I will do that. But the main goal, I think, today is over in Goldhof. We've got the manor that is currently in the process of being constructed, so we have that to deal with. Also, over in Goldhof, I am thinking about planting some fields. Now, it may be too soon in the season to do that, unless I do some really small ones. But we have quite a decent patch here for Emma, so I think we may do that. And it's not this lovely kind of green, but it's green enough to get something as just as a backup plan, because there's no rich food sources here. Obviously, we've spoken about sheep. We know we have the salt, so we can do that as well. And we also need to carry on developing and getting more points. But first off, I think Wallbrand. This is something we need to think about as well. Do we have any fertility in here? As we'll see, we have a tiny bit of Emma in here as well in little places. I mean, if I get really, look at that. If I get really desperate, I could potentially go down the rye route, but I don't think it's worth investing a point for such small areas. I mean, we can see if we want it. We've got some buildings here we can go with, but it's a possibility, I suppose. But it feels like a bit of a desperate one. That is a lovely region actually up there. What have we got in there? We got barley in there as well. That might be one worth going for at some point, because it's a pretty red map, with the exception of this area. So I think the first thing we'll do is we will start our expansion into this area. And what do we have food-wise first? That's the main thing. Well, we know we got stone and we know we've got the rich iron. So we know we're going to need to invest some points down that route. But we've got berries and wild animals. They're quite far apart. So I guess we need to set up somewhere kind of in the middle here, because that is a bit of a distance either way. This is where we kind of look at the emmer fertility and we think to ourselves, is it worth potentially at some point setting up some small fields just to kind of top things off until we get going? We may do that. Okay, so down in Walbrand, I remember this. I think this was the Black Forest that we had in the last series, so I'm quite familiar with the area, albeit that was a lovely farming region. But I think here would be a pretty good place to start. But I'm going to put a little camp just over to one side, because I potentially like to build in here. Or do we put this here and build around it and then fill this in later? Maybe that is a good idea. Now we have the capability of actually setting them up in a good way, and I think we'll do that. It'd be nice to see these options come through at some point. We're going to have a little bit of lag here. I think we are. There we go. Perfect. It's right in the middle. We have our lovely ox. So potentially, just kind of when you bring yourself down to this level, it might actually be worth bringing this off for some farmland. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do it now just so I remember. I don't know why I switched to that one, because I wanted to stay on there and then just quickly sort of trace out where we're going with this road. I wish there was an easier way of doing this. I think I've said it before. That was actually pretty crappy. I'd like to keep this on when I'm building roads, but there is no capability of doing that. Not unless there's a mod. I've not really kind of messed around with any of the mods yet because, well, there's nothing on Steam, obviously. But I am aware there are mods, so there's something potentially that there may be. I don't know. We shall see. We'll just hook this round here. And I think we remove this one, which is probably going to mean I need to actually remove some of those curvy bits we just put in there. Oh no, we can kind of, going to look a little bit odd, but, and then we'll just split this up. I know we don't need it right now, and we're probably nowhere near actually having this, but at least it's there. I know where it is, and I'm not going to build on it. Now we have food, which is a good start. We have no access to the berries just yet. Where's the wild animals? They're all the way over there. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a very sort of stretched out sort of town. Now I can link this up here, and we'll probably do the same on the opposite side. We will bring it out to this road, but the animals they really are far away. So, I mean, idealistically, we're gonna have to really think about this one cleverly, aren't we? A little nub here. I think that's where we'll put the hunter. Then we may need to settle here first. I was going to do it here, but then the berries are like the polar opposite direction. This is going to be fun. I like the fact it's making me kind of think a little bit outside the box. So we'll get the hunting camp in just because we're going to need that food. We got bread, so we're not in a bad place, really. This is not kind of a super scary issue. Put this back onto total goods stored. Now, obviously, we've spent a point over there already. The next thing I'm going to do is put in a hitching post. I know we already have one, but I'd like another one. Now, because the animals are over there, we can take advantage of this wooded area. But I think if we stick that there, and we'll put that as a highest because yeah, it's quite easy to deal with, and we will order ourselves an ox. Granary we could do with, but I'm thinking now we have seven wood, so maybe we'll put in our burgage plots quickly, and then we can start thinking about, what do we put the logging camp in? I think actually, do you know what, we'll put the logging camp in because that's probably the more sensible thing to do. I did want it on this side of the road, but I don't want to wipe out too many trees. It's not giving me many options here. Oh, 2 will do. I can live with that. That's not a problem. We'll put that as a high priority. There we go. And we'll let those things build in. And just while those buildings are starting to take shape, I've just got to think about how we're going to deal with things. Obviously, we know over here we have iron, so that's obviously going to be a place where we'll make some armor and things. But as I've said before, with it being a central region, I feel like it's the best place to kind of disperse the goods around. So I'm sort of thinking to myself, do we just butcher the sheep here, send the meat to the middle, send the salt from the opposite side to the middle, and then they can distribute the sausages either way? May make a little bit of sense. So there's a couple of ways we can do that. We can use the pack station to take meat and then bring back sausages and obviously salt and then meat. Or we can trade. Now, one gives us a little bit of income in the town and the other one doesn't, but it's kind of like a barter system. You swap for this and I take what I need sort of thing. Excuse me, got a little bit of the hiccups. I feel like I've got a cold coming, which is not a good sign. I'm about to have a week off from work and I'm going to get sick. I can sense it already, but hopefully that doesn't happen and it's just one of those things. As the season changes, everyone gets a little bit nasally and things like that. But hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, so I'm thinking, I'm not sure whether we go with the trading option or the where they gone? The pack stations. I think initially we'll go with pack stations. Once we're more settled, I may go down the trading route, which means it'd probably make a little bit more sense. I didn't mean to zoom out that far. If we move our sheep farms and our butchers kind of here. And then the salt is already on that side, so it's quite close. And then if we have in the middle or somewhere around here, let's say the butchers, then the meat only has to go from there. And then even if we drop it on the end here, say let's say we put a granary out here, obviously that needs to then make its way into town, but I think it should just smooth out things a little bit. Obviously if I want to send fish elsewhere, that's going to be a little bit more work, but maybe that's something we can think about, is building maybe like a secondary town over here. I don't know what the fertility's like over here. We've got emmer, got flax, we've got a little bit of barley as well here. So we could even have more farmland if we needed to, and we could send flour that way, or grain, and oh no, actually, yeah, grain. We have a windmill here. We can make bread in the middle and send it either way, so we could have it as a real production hub. Let's be honest, it's not got much else going on aside from the ability to make armor, so we'll see how we go with that. Well, now we're in March, I think it's time to get ourselves some berries as well. We can only put the one family in here at the moment, that's all we have. Fuel for 8 months is not too bad. Now, if I remember correctly, yeah, we have one family in the charcoal kiln. If I come out of this menu, we still have firewood to work our way through. So for the time being, that's not too bad. How are we looking for timber? We have 80 planks. That's an awful lot. We'll stop that for a second. That gives me another family to use potentially. I think we'll do that. We'll put them in there to get ourselves some berries. How are we doing hunting wise? We'll put that back to 10, I think. We don't want to rinse these poor animals too far down. Church we're good with. We've got our livestock trader over here as well. And how are we getting on? They're almost there with the manor. That is also a good sign. We have quite a few level 2 buildings over here as well now. One more is all we need, actually. So it might be worth putting an upgrade in there. Oh, we have a butcher's. We have no piggies. Did I put piggies in here? Animal pen, we did. Did it not let me select anything? Because I don't see anything in here. That's kind of interesting. Huh. Animal pen. Oh, have I not? Does it need rebuilding? Can you see piggies? Ah, there's one. Okay, we do have them. So I think it would probably make a little bit of sense to get at least a couple of these going on just to supplement the meat. We could think about the farming. I'm not too worried just yet. I see we've got a family moving in Mintingham. That, my friend, is a positive sign. It means that the approval rating has gone up. That is so close to being done. I'm really happy with that. Let's have a quick scoot across. Actually, while we're here in Walbrand, see, we still got our logging camp going. All but one of our burgage plots are now in place. The well is there. We have the hitching post we put, and our hunter all the way out here by themselves. And then just looking back over town. Ooh, actually, they built the storehouse while I wasn't paying attention. There we go. So we have a granary and our storehouse as well. So once that house is built, we're kind of in the right place. The only thing... Wow, the berries are so far away. Oh my goodness. Let me... I mean, oh goodness, let's just... We've got to get it in now. We can't not have the berries. I can't even see where I put that bloody road. Where's the end? It's just here. We'll get that in. It's a long trek. I feel like with this one, we're probably going to have to put in more people. Hopefully, I didn't take any berry bushes out there, actually. Because that would be most disappointing. They actually look like raspberries or something. Yeah. So we now have that. That is good. What we're complaining about here. Weather damage, yeah. Well, I'm guessing the family in here should be transporting the goods. I mean, they're just sat there. Don't let that bread rot away, please. It needs to be dealt with. Excellent. And we can see a cart there as well for that. That's all being done. Excellent. The only thing we've not got, actually, is firewood. Let me think about that logically. If we're going to cut the wood on this side for building, may as well put the woodcutter on this side. And I think we'll just sort of swing it around there. And there is a upgrade for Warbrand. Perfect. I say an upgrade. Development point. Not particularly fussed, but I know we are going to go down this route. So I think charcoal and deep mining probably come before the armor making. Yeah, possibly. And as to whether we take anything else, I don't know. I feel like trade. It might be, in fact, the first time I actually invest in a trade. I don't think I've ever spent points there before. I don't recall doing it, but yeah, we shall see. And let's go over even to Mintingham. We can fish again. How are we doing for food? 8 months. And we have... Yeah, let's put 2 families in there. Just got to keep an eye on this. It kind of swings around as to how many fish we have. It like 1 minute it feels like we got loads and then it just drops off a cliff. I can see people are definitely moving in over here. Did we put pig farms or anything in these gardens? We've not done anything. Ooh. So these ones are chickens. What's food looking like over here? Well, do you know what? I kind of want apples now when I look at it. So vegetables we got lots of. Meat, not too much. Eggs, not too much. I'm tempted to go with pigs. Because then, when the salt is currently coming over here, but then in the long run, would that be useful? I don't know. But I think we might go with the pigs, because it's going to give us meat anyway. And did we invest points? We did. So that's going to double the amount of meat we get. So it probably makes a little bit of sense to do that. I was thinking vegetables initially. I think we can just go with pigs, so I'll just like whack all these in here. So just looking, we're still working our way through the flour. I think we had over 500, didn't we? So it is getting there. We have a lot of iron parts, which is interesting. So I need to find out why they're not being made into crossbows. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. 30 crossbows. Take that back. Wait a minute. That is a lot. Actually, clicking on the wrong thing. Wow. Okay. So, but we're kind of sort of getting there. Maybe I shouldn't complain. So at least that's working. How are we looking for bread? 137. Ale, 191. And 157 salt. My goodness. We will have sausages coming out of our ears. I think the only thing we're short of is... Oh, no, we're not. We've even got meat. The question is... See some crossbows in here. We have some salt. So I'm assuming that they will be making sausages. And I can see we got 7. So that, you know, that's a good thing as well. Our joiner is currently doing nothing, I don't think. Oh, it's making... parts. From a plank point of view, we still have them. The timber is running a little bit low. Might top that up. But as you can see, look at that. All those trees have definitely grown out now, which is just fantastic. And what were the planks like? 31. Do we have the... That's this... Oh. Could you assign livestock to the saw pit before? I don't think you could. I think that's a new thing. Could be wrong. Production limit, we'll set this to 50 because we don't want more than that. That's just too much. And actually, we'll set timber to 10. That is interesting. Well, do you know, I'm happy to assign one to that. Do we have one assigned to the logging camp? We do. Excellent. And there we have it. The Manor in Goldhoff is here, but God knows what happened there. That looks a little bit wonky. I'd ask for my money back personally. The only thing we didn't add, well, in fact we can tax them over here now if we really wanted to. We didn't add the bit for the retinue, did we? Because we didn't have what we needed. So let's put that in place. We probably could do with putting some walls around here, but I don't want to add too much. But at least we've got that now, so you can see we have our other retinue, which currently has 5. We are a little bit poor, so I don't particularly want to tax them over here just yet. I don't think that would be a good idea. How are we getting on with berries? We have 62. We're at 7 months of food. Okay, it's all kind of coming together, which is what we wanted. Did we invest our point into deep mining? We've not done that yet. I'm going to do that now. I wasn't too sure when I wanted to do it, but it is now done. As you can see, we are working our way through the salt slowly, but we need to get a little bit more wealth here, and then we can deal with that. I think we may potentially take up some of the farming. I think it probably makes sense. We may not do the sheep farm in the end. I think this region here is going to be the place where all things converge and then spread out. We could even make the ale here, if you know what I mean. I think it might be a good idea. It's going to be a lot of moving things around, but I feel like once we've got all these other regions, I say that confidently, obviously we're going to take them all. But I think if most things meet here, then going each direction would be far easier than sending something from here to here. But it's definitely something to consider while I'm planning this. Even adding these couple of buildings back in. Was there any fertility over here? Let me have a look. Oh, that's awful. Oh god, it's a border there. I almost don't. Oh, we got a nice patch here. That's a different region. That's Mintingham. There's a bit of a green spot there for Emma, so potentially my voice is going all croaky. I can hear it. But yeah, we do have the ability to do a little bit of farming. Oh my goodness, I think I am going to lose my voice. I need some cough drops, definitely. Just hovering over the bread here, and you can see spoilage very high. See it flickering? I think that's because of the rain. It's affecting what is actually going on here. So I'm wondering, once it's inside, what are we at for? I'd like to see how that is when it's not raining, but I don't really want to wait to that point. I don't know what's taking these guys so long kind of dealing with this. I might just take that family out there temporarily and put it in there, because they need to collect this bread, otherwise they're going to have some serious issues. Now they're all transporting. Obviously there's berries to be collected, but why they're not prioritizing this, I don't know. I'm assuming it's nothing to do with a pathway. We'll put one in. We'll also move this hitching post as well, actually, because we don't want it there. Although somewhere in this area probably makes sense, because we do have the storehouse. Not that there's many things I think you need the hitching post for when it comes to that. Although we do have the wood there. Let's see what happens though, because I'm a little bit concerned about the movement of the bread. Oh, actually, it stopped raining. Okay, it's still very high. It doesn't seem to make a difference. And there we go. They have taken all of the food. Excellent. So just looking at this development tree again. So trade logistics, cheaper trade routes by way of half. Then we have reduces all foreign import tariffs by half at the trading post, effectively reducing foreign import prices by 5. So I mean, foreign is external. So you got to bear this in mind. So if I'm only trading stuff internally, I still feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, these don't help. It's only if you want to trade with parties off the map that these kind of come into play. But anyway, so points wise, you see, master armoring is a bit of a weird one for me. So it is for the retinue and it can be sold, but it may just be worth, if we're trading enough, to buy the armor rather than making it. I don't feel like it's worth the points based on my last experience. Now, again, I'm happy for any challenges. That's quite a distance away before we get to that point, but it's definitely 4 points that we're going to invest here, which leaves us with 2. Suppose at that point we got options. We could go down the trade route. Again, not a huge deal if we're not sending things out of our borders and we're just trading between. It's a bit of a weird one, but we're not going to take the heavy plow. The only reason we go that way is if we wanted to make the bread over here because of the bakeries, but that seems like a bit of a stretch. We could sheep breed here if we just want to get all the meat in this one area, but again, we could import the meat, make the sausages here, so we wouldn't need that. And then that leaves us with apples. Kind of makes sense. It's a central region. We could send apples everywhere. So I'm sort of tempted, personally, if we take the 4 there, to go for apples and trade logistics. I know it reducing the import tariff, but I don't plan on importing, more exporting. So maybe that's what we'll go for. But let me know what you think. I am interested to see how everyone else looks at it. Some of the stuff isn't worth investing in, we know this. But then some of it's just kind of subject to your own opinion. How are we getting on over here? So everyone has moved in. We currently have 130 coin over here. That's something to bear in mind. I think what we will do, before we do anything else, because I will forget later on, is to get ourselves another hitching post. And I think here, we'll just put it opposite for now. I think that is a good place. We will get ourselves another ox. Because I think we only... Do we have 2 over here? We do. We'll get ourselves a 3rd. Now, I could start the process of with the mule, but you only need it on one direction. So, as long as we have the ability to make sausages here, as long as there's a pack station in Goldhof, bringing the salt in, they'll take sausages back. Minting them the same. Now the problem is when they start to take too much, this is where the trade posts are going to come in really handy. But that's kind of a problem for a later date, I suppose. But we probably could do with getting a few more burgage plots in. We do have some money, so I am sort of thinking about food. Currently we have berries, so we've got that. We could do with vegetables, so I may set these ones up initially as vegetables. Now, I know a few of you will probably say you should have done pigs or chickens, but I just want a little bit of everything. I want some variety, so putting pigs in, I've already got meat from here, albeit it'll be a small amount, but now I've got 3 types of food if you include the berries over there, and that just kind of works. That's what we need. That's left me with 55, which is enough to get myself another ox. So, from the perspective of burgage plots, we also need a sawmill. I've not done that. We're going to get a few more in. And I'm going to try and plan this a little bit more meaningfully. So we have this road coming up here. It doesn't quite go to our region. I would have thought, I think there's a road, there it is. There is a road that goes through up here. I don't really want to build on there if I can help it. We have a little bit of space here if I wanted to build some more. And I'm thinking we may build, we go over here, stone. We may build on this kind of flat area here. This road doesn't actually go anywhere, does it? Or does that go all the way through? Well, that one does go all the way through. So we don't want to build directly on that road. So we'll pull a little road off here. I mean, there's no such thing as traffic in the game. But in my brain, there's a little bit of a... Let's kind of just give the main sort of trade routes a little bit of breathing space. Because I don't usually do that. And I think as you kind of move along in the later game, you sort of regret it if you don't. I think that's probably okay. I think we'll go with that. I can live with that. They've got back garden space. Perfect. I may even try and make this road a little bit wider. Let's have a look-see. And this is not a perfect kind of part here. Let's have a... There we go. It's a little bit thicker. There's a way of stopping this from latching on, I think, isn't there? Or am I thinking of something else? But even still, if you draw... Oh, that was an awful one. We don't want that. Try that again. Sometimes just drawing on top of the same road will work. Can we? I thought we could stop this from doing it. Cancel. Adjust curve. Remove road. I literally thought you could do a slightly different... Actually, if we go to there, that's what does it. There we go. That's a little bit thicker, isn't it? Still probably not enough. So we'll take it all the way up to here again. If we get close by and bring it all the way down. Yeah, sometimes you get a little bit of a gap in the middle, but you can. You just aim it right. Hopefully. Yeah, that's much better. It's more like one of these roads. Just gives a little bit more space, and at least I know that's one of the main routes. And it kind of does it when you build off them. As you can see, these are a little bit wider. The same here as well. So it's just something I'm gonna do, because I think it, one, it looks better, and two, it feels like it makes sense. I think it's time for Goldhof to have a couple more burgage plots. Now, I'm not too sure how we want to go about this. I feel like I don't want... It's one of those where you build burgage plots with no back gardens, but part of me doesn't want to, so I can have some kind of this way. I think a couple of them with the smallest possible back garden would be nice. Can we? Is that enough space? Don't think it is, because it's getting those the right amount of space for the artisan buildings, isn't it? But I want to make sure I still have a little bit of space here. Is that enough? No. Oh, you're going to be a proper fuss pot, aren't you? Let's try this way. I can go up that side a little bit more. So we need to be at least there. Oh, that's kind of a pain. Can we... Right, so if I make that one a tiny bit more. There we... Come on. Actually... There, I think that's kind of nice, actually, because it'll give a little bit of space at the front. And we still have the space at the back. And I'm guessing, can I get a burgage plot in there? Ooh, that could be kind of an interesting sort of aesthetic. What happens if we rotate that? Oh, okay, I haven't got the wood for it. So, yeah, I wanted to fill this out properly. But I guess if we have a couple of buildings that don't have gardens, it won't be the end of the world. I don't know what it would look like here, because we just took up a lot of space. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to either. Yeah, we'll sort of work it out, depending on what they're doing anyway. If it's just going to be people that are gathering, it's not a massive problem. How are we getting on over here? Have we built this yet? We're almost there. How are we doing for timber? We should be okay. There is someone working there. Yeah, debranching a tree. Do you have... Oh, there we go. Let's give you an animal. That may speed things up. And I can see there that the wild berries have grown back. I did reduce the amount of families in there, but it's sort of caught up. But we're fine for food now, so assuming we have no issues with raiders, we should be okay. Just thinking about that, though. Do I bring my retinue into the middle? I think it's usually around summer, so when we get into about June, I might mobilize some troops just in case. There is only one, what do you call it, mercenaries to hire. I feel like this mercenary always gets left. It's always there for you. But the kind of, you know, the Baron likes to buy everything else that there is. Like, you know, it just doesn't care. Wow, these are doing quite well. This is almost full. We don't have any spare families to actually put in there. While I think about it in here as well, we will just get that charcoal point in. And we can put that... Do you know, I think I'm going to put it right next door. I don't know if it works as simple as this. I feel like it will probably end up in the storehouse before... like the firewood will end up in the storehouse before it actually makes it to the charcoal burner. But we'll see. We'll put it next door and see what actually happens. Because it'd be nice if they didn't have to go all the way here. We have no one in the storehouse. What on earth have I done there? Okay. We ran out of people. There's no one in there either. We do have, however, 3 ox. We have a few more houses coming in, so that's a positive sign. What are we missing, actually? Market variety. It's probably clothing is going to be the thing. And church, yeah. That's not an issue. We can sort that out, can't we? Okay, as we are in June, and I'm going to do what I said I'd do, and I'm probably just get my retinue. There's only 15 of them. We do have a little bit of money, so do we beforehand? I think, are they 50 each? We'll just chuck another couple in there. How much is the armor? 34. Wow, that's nice and cheap. So, we definitely need to think about that. So let's just mobilize them just in case. And we'll send them to there, and then we'll move them into the middle of Walbrand. But let's have a quick look here. How are we doing? Some of these fields starting to get ready. I can see other people are moving, use my words correctly, moving in. We have some cash, so it makes a bit of sense. We get some piggies in here because we forgot to do that earlier on, obviously. Of course we did. Perfect. There we go. Fish. Yeah, see, there's a nice amount in there. How are we doing there? There's two fisher people, or two fisher families, I think is the correct word. And we did build this burgage plot as well, which we need to upgrade because I completely forgot about it. One was to butcher, one was to make sausages, at least on this sort of temporary basis. But we're looking okay. Timber, not too bad. We do have a family in there. Planks, we're okay. We're probably doing okay for crossbows as well. Are they instantly going across? They are. Timber, yeah, we need to make a few planks. So we'll put a family in there before we lose everyone to the great harvest. Oh, look at that. Goldhoff has increased its level. Excellent. Kind of wasn't expecting that. It threw me off slightly. Ooh, what are we going to invest that point in? There is an interesting one. I'm not entirely sure, to be fair. There's nothing specific over here that I feel like we need to. Maybe orchards. We're not really going to kind of plow, so we don't need that. There's not really anything decent when it comes to wild animals. Berries is just a normal deposit. There's no fishing. Beekeeping, yeah, I suppose we could, but it feels a bit pointless in itself. And trade, again, doesn't make sense. Like, we're going to end up breeding bloody sheep everywhere. We're going to have so much meat, it's going to be ridiculous. So I kind of sort of don't know what to do with that, because this region is solely, in my opinion, settled for the salt. And the stone, I suppose, if we really want to go down that route. But it is just for the salt. There's nothing else here that I need. And obviously, let's not forget the retinue. And speaking of which, I don't mind, actually. When do we have to pay our taxes? 273 days. So let's actually give them a couple more. 1, 2, 3. Well, should we risk it for a biscuit and go for 10? Oh, we're completely poor now. We should be making a little bit of tax over here as well. So I might put that to 5. I don't think that's going to upset them. Let's go to 5. Yeah, we'll do 5. Because we are making a little bit of money off the level 2 burgage plot, so that's perfectly fine. Now, we do need ale over here. That is an issue. These are level 2s that we currently have, and they need the upgraded church, which requires planks and tiles. Now, there is actually some clay over here. Not a great deal, but maybe that's worth doing just to kind of clear it out, and at least we have the resources we need. We'll drop that on there. We'll hook you up to the nearest road. We don't really have the people yet, but when these get built, we'll have more people to do those jobs. That seems perfect. And there is our lovely retinue. We'll bring them here. Run! In fact, you don't need to run. You won't run. Just walk. Take it easy. Don't stress yourself out. We have an extra family now, so I'm just debating. What is the medium spoilage, right? Wasn't going to put another family in there. What are we doing for food? 10 months. Actually, maybe I don't need to sweat that one. I don't think it's a huge issue. How are we doing animal-wise? They're okay. There's 16 animals. That one family is slowly but surely taking care of that. We have 16 hides. Probably should have a family in here. We are still building this, so I think once the charcoal kiln is built, we'll speed it up and get that done. There we are. I think I'll put a family in there. We're not currently building anything, so I think we can afford to sit this to 0. We'll get some clothes, and that will increase our little approval rate in here, and then more people will move in, and everything is just working fine. It's going too well, actually. I feel a little bit on edge, because everything's just going very smooth. We have a lot of salt over here. What could we... I mean, how are we doing for wool? Well, we've probably sent a lot. We need to start thinking about actual trade, I think. We've got tons of salt. Do I stop these guys from doing what they're doing? Because we're sending wool, which they only need a certain amount of anyway. And yarn. Why? Wait a minute. Why am I sending them wool? We don't have the ability to make yarn, so that's a bit pointless. How are we doing it for Linen, no. Leather. Okay. Interesting. We could make dye over there. There's something we could do. Is there anything else we could send them that would be of use? Bread? How are we doing for bread? 166. And what was the other one? Yarn? We could change that to ale. We're just going to have to be very, very, very careful with this. Albeit we have a lot of ale currently, it could soon end up in a different region completely. So that's that to bear in mind. And are these actually doing their job? They are transporting. I see salt still. We do have one more sausage than the last time I looked. What on earth are you doing? Oh, you're dragging. Excellent. We're getting very, very close to the harvest season here, aren't we? I mean, I could potentially start, but I'm not going to do that. Let's live life on the edge, I think. Ah, the lovely rain. Beautiful. Just what we need on a lovely summer's day. So, looking at the fields, quite a few are ready to be harvested. So, I'm going to think about finding people now that we can use. Same every year, this. Taking people out of buildings in order. Why are they still mourning? That's a long time. But is it 9 per building? I think it is 2, 4, 6. It's 8 per building. You put my teeth in. How are we doing for timber and things like that? Yep, we're in a good spot. We'll take 1 out of there, 1 out of there. We'll also assign the livestock, so they're free to do some other bits and pieces that we may need them to do. The bloomery, how are we looking? We need to look here. We have still got 28 iron. So I'm happy to. I could potentially take both of those if I really wanted to. But I think we're okay. Where else do we have people that we don't need? Malt house. What are you looking like currently? Do we have any barley? 230. Oh wow, we still have quite a lot. You guys are still processing through that. That is not happening as quick as I kind of thought it would. Maybe, just maybe, we need a malt house. We have a lot of ale in there as well. I don't think we need that many people in here, so I'm going to take 1 family out, at least for now. I think that's 12. It's not quite enough. What about the hunter? Wow, okay, those animals are breeding quite happily. That's good. Tannery. I'm only going to do that if we have... we have 4 hides. I think we can afford to pinch you. That gives us 13. Okay. Not quite enough. I think we're okay. So let's fill this one up first. And then this one, we will put all 5. Oh, actually, we need some more despair, I think. Or is this building finished? Oh no, it's not finished. We could actually expand the living space, but we don't want to do that. We do want to make it a butcher's, but I think we can wait temporarily and get this sort of stuff out of the way first. So we are a few people short of me taking people out of some of the other buildings, like the Weaver's Workshop. Actually, where are we at with flax? Still got flax. Oh my goodness. How many do we need? 4. Okay, so let's pinch 1 from here, and we can go over to our forester's hut because the trees are looking absolutely beautiful. If we can take, actually, you look like you're quite busy there, so we'll take 1 from here. And there we go. That should be enough. Now we can do the old. Let's do some early harvesting. Why I'm having issues. 106, 50 of 61. So it's this little corner almost fields that we could start with. And I think that probably makes a little bit of sense. So let's get these ones going. And I've just got to remember I've done this before they plant the next thing. But just sort of looking at the crops, tiny bit of flax left, lots of barley left. So we know at least we've got more work to do in that regard. As for flour, we still have a lot, so we probably need another bakery. There's something else to think of as well, unless we're going to transport the flour, which I think was the plan, into this area. So that's something we can think about. Or we could just transfer the grain and do the flour business over here. You know, we got options, so many options, and I like that. How are we getting on over here anyway? Market food variety, clothing variety, food wise 9 months, fuel 5 months. That's not a problem, that's going to fix itself. Yep, people are slowly moving in, which is what we want. The only thing we've not built, actually, and it's probably a good idea, is a forester's hut. And I think we'll just nestle this one in here. Just makes a little bit of sense. We'll wind this one around that side, and then again to there. Because we need to kind of top these up, don't we, over a period of time. May remove a few of them. What we can do, we don't have a farmhouse over here either. We need planks. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? Concentrate. You're making all kinds of mistakes. Let's get that on the highest. So I was just thinking we need a farmhouse, and then I'm like, oh, I think we need planks for that. Oh, we don't. Well, we still need planks. So we shall do that nonetheless. I think we'll put that farmhouse there. I might actually just wrap that round there. Just like that. I don't like the fact it's such a skinny little road here, but maybe if we can do some jiggery pokery. Is that going to make a difference? A tiny bit. And then we will get ourselves a little bit of a field here. We haven't really got the people to plant it. I think we'll put 2 in, but we're not going to sweat it. There we go. And they can be... Oh wait, 69. See, that's not too... Even a little bit of barley. I don't think we'd get much from it, but it is there. So we'll set that up. Whether anything happens with that right now, I don't think so. But it's there nonetheless. If they get round to it and this gets done in time and we manage to plant it, fantastic. If not, I'm not going to lose any sleep. Speaking of which, how are we doing for food? 12 months. I was going to do some farms over here, but I don't think we need to, you know. Not yet anyway. I mean, it's something to consider. Fuel is probably the biggest issue right now, but it's not really an issue as such. You can see over there we're still trying to build that. I guess it's just dragging the logs. I did actually order myself an extra ox. We could probably do with more, but it is all kind of sort of working. We do have a spare family though, so I wonder if we start thinking about replanting, because we got this forest being rebuilt here. We probably need one over here, so let's think about that, because that would make a lot of sense. Excellent. Kind of funny when they've got ox to do this job, and there's just so many of them with so little to do right now. They're ploughing and sowing the seeds at the same time. Look at that. That's efficiency for you. Oh, look at that. Oh, absolutely stunning. I've just had another thought actually over in Goldhof. Even if I bring ale over here, I don't know if that's happened just yet. No, not currently. We don't have a tavern. So even if... on the off chance that they manage to get the ale, we don't have a tap. There would have been lovely. But I don't know. Some part of me always feels like the tavern should be somewhere near the church. I don't know why. It's just kind of a random thing that kind of pops into my head when I think, where's the ideal place? But I think, to be fair, we'll probably just put it on the corner here and we can run some roads off later on. We do have a few spare people currently. What is that? Don't think I've ever seen that icon before, but then I've probably not paid enough attention. Why is taking so long there? Do we not have spare timber? We do. Interesting. Well, hopefully that happens sometime soon. We definitely have the extra ox. How are we doing financially? Not terribly, but not awful at the same time. We'll upgrade that hitching post. Excellent. Did we... That's not been built yet either. What are these people doing? They're building houses. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. I have no problem with that at all. What are you? You're getting fuel supplies. Okay. And you are taking salt back. So I'm guessing you just dropped off some bread or some ale. You have 27 bread. Have we got rid of all the flour yet? There's a question. We have. So that means... Actually, let me just double check. Yeah, it's definitely gone. So we got a person in here that we don't need. And that building can go. Excellent. There's another person spare. That's just what we need. And no ale. So that wasn't ale that was dropped off then. It must have been bread. Okay. At least it's working. And over here, again, it's just a matter of kind of waiting a little bit now. Do you know what? It's actually been, dare I say it, a peaceful 6 or 7 months in this episode. We've not had any issues whatsoever. And do you know what? That's kind of refreshing. We can see you've got some vegetables growing here as well. It's all looking good. Let me put that on the highest priority. I don't think we've got the people around here to plant this at all. But, you know, the dream can be there, can't it? There's nothing wrong with that. How are we looking? Yeah, we're getting some charcoal as well. The berries working their way through it. This is full. There's an issue. A lovely issue to have, to be fair. But there's just a little bit too much. And hopefully as these start to fill in, the approval rating's high enough. So, yeah, everything is just working. I think, even, I'm assuming, we're still making bread. Where is our bakery? It's hidden by all these trees all of a sudden. I mean, there's 5 bread in there. So 5 bread being in there. Oh, there's a little bit of an issue. Look, waiting. That's not a good sign. Albeit we have 188 bread. And there is flour, right? There is. That shouldn't be happening. I wonder if the same is happening with Malt House. No, they're all transporting. The Weaver's Workshop, transporting. Malt House over here, transporting. So, it looks like it's just the bakery. And do you know what? To test the theory, I'm going to restart the game and let's see what happens. And we are back. So let's see what happens. Click on our bakery. Well, we have 2 more bread than we did a minute ago. Oh, resting at home. Gone from waiting to resting. Let me speed it up a tiny bit and just see. There we go. Transporting, waiting. There's clearly some weird issue here. Now, I am wondering if it's like a bunching issue. So if we go to our granary, not that it looks very busy over here, we can see that we have our flour. I wonder if only so many people are allowed to kind of request access to this at one point, even though they're not all stuck outside. I wonder if the game, so let's say the baker in this case sends a request to the granary to say, hey, I want to come and collect some flour, and the granary is like, well, I've already got 10 people coming my way, so no. I'm wondering. I could be wrong, but it does make me kind of consider that fact. So an option we have, yeah, because they're all waiting, is I put a granary just here and say that this granary can only hold flour and bread. And we'll see what happens. I think potentially it's a good idea. The issue we have at the moment is that this granary currently holds all the flour. So if I say no to that flour in there, because we don't want any more going in there, and the granary over here, which currently doesn't have any, we say no, because we've not made any more flour. So that's not an issue right now. We're in August. Is that harvest season or is it September? I think it's September. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that actually does. Because it's so hit and miss. Like, we should be literally just surrounded by bread, and it's just not quite happening. Yeah, it's a little bit... We still have 200 barley as well. So potentially that is what the issue is, in my opinion. I could be wrong. But just something, yeah, we'll have to take a closer look at. And I can see we finally have some ale in Goldhof. And they're all still crying out for it, naturally. But that's most likely because we don't have anyone in the tavern. So we have ale, but they can't drink it. And we have some kind of... What is this? Is this to do with a variety of food? So let's have a nosy. What have we got? Vegetables, sausages, and bread. And berries. I guess we could do some eggs or something. We could spice it up a little bit for them, but it's not too bad. Everyone's happy enough. We've got these new buildings, obviously, in the Burgish plots here, and they will fill in. There's 2 left. That is excellent news. We're just waiting over here for the Forester's Hut to be completed as well. Entries full in Wallbrand, yes. I have sent some people over to the clay because we need to make tiles, but let me just have a quick kind of see what's going on here. Yeah, so that is full. There is 50 in there, and there's still berries there, so they're just taking a sweet old time. There's not really anyone else I can spare looking at it. I don't think. We could. I mean, I've assigned a family to this because I just kind of want to see how they get on with it. It's just blind curiosity more than anything. We have 2 more houses to fill in here. We do need a church. I think that is one of the little downsides here. think we need planks for that. I think that's something we can't do until that point. Planks, yeah. So, yeah, we'll just kind of see how it goes. I think we may be safe enough to send these guys back, but we'll wait for winter before we do that. But other than that, I think... Oh, gosh, are we full of sheep again? Oh, my God. Oh, wow. We have a lot of sheep. Okay. We didn't make this a butcher's yet, did we? We will ask them to start butchering. Do your worst, people. We have too many sheep. Cull the flock. It needs to be done. There's a lot of transporting here, so hopefully... I just saw a sheep run off. You don't want to run in there, mate. That'll be the end of you. Let's just watch those numbers. Yeah, starting to drop. Not massively fast, but they are going down. As you can see, it's given us a little bit of space. Just watching the let's say pasture space, the pasture space. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? We can live with that. How much meat do we have? 60. So let's switch this to sausages now. The sheep can rest easy for a little bit longer. Like, there's a little bit of space in each one. We're probably going to need, actually, put more fields in. We'll see how it goes, but it's just absolutely insane. Now, these are all ready to go. I've got the early harvest. I might just let them do it. I know if I let them do it, they're not going to do it properly, but we're not going to absolutely perish if it all goes wrong. We've got more than enough food. I mean, dare I say it. I mean, we could actually... We could put another pasture in. I mean, are they full already? 28, 16, close to being. Mad. You don't need to have a What's-a-Badoofa market stall. There we go. Tax me to death, why don't you? Right. So you can... So do they copy the same stuff from the other one? They do. Okay. I think we can let them do that, can't they? They'll butcher. We don't want more than 50 meat at one time. That's probably good enough, because then they'll convert the rest to sausages. There is plenty of... Oh, there was. Yeah, plenty of salt. We're at -2 sausages somehow. I don't quite know how. But we're in September, as you can see. There goes the harvest. They're just going to go willy-nilly. That's the thing that always gets me about this. They just... There's no rhyme or reason to which way to do it. I mean, I can do things like that, so that'll be the highest. We can then go for this one and say, you know, you're very high, because it's just the big fields here that I'm looking at, and you can be high. Because realistically, you want them to clear the bigger fields first, in my opinion. And there we go. Look at that. Plague of locusts. Fantastic. I've just realised how long I've been recording for. I do lose track of time when I play this game, but I think that is a good spot to call it. And the only reason I say that, it's not to do with the amount of time I've been recording for, because I could cut some of my wittering out. It's more the fact that I want to title this video somewhere along the lines of A Year of Peace, because I think we need it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care.